Titans fans, we are officially back. Later today, 6:30 Central Time, the Tennessee Titans hit the field for their first preseason football game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm excited for it. We're going to break it all down, give you a little preview of just who to look for on some rookies and, of course, some other players that you should be watching specifically during this game. Because I'll remind you guys, it's preseason football, everybody. These games don't mean much, if anything, at all. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. I mean, hell, in the Raiders-Seahawks game, we got a damn tie. That's what happens in preseason football. We've seen teams go undefeated, and we've seen teams go defeated, and it all doesn't matter. All that matters is just getting your reps in and getting ready for the upcoming season. And, of course, we could see some of the Titans' first-team offense in Tampa. You could see this tweet from Paul Kaharski. Expect 2 max series for the Titans. First team's offense in Tampa, depending on how the first one goes. I mean, if it's a long, good drive, I wouldn't expect them to go back on the field. And the defense only plays a series, but we'll get into why specifically the defense only will play a series because it's pretty much already set. But I have a little challenge for you, ladies and gentlemen. This month, the most subs on a video for Titans was 95 on the Terry McLaurin Rumors video. So I'm going to challenge you because this actually means something. This is a preview of who to look for, who to watch, because football is back. So let's try and beat this goal. Hit that big red sub button. Subscribe to Titans Today right now if you want all news and rumors all the time. So who are some of the rookies to watch for and depth pieces? Because we've talked about some of the position battles that were going into training camp and just obviously some rookies who are going to not play that much, but you really want to keep an eye on. And the first one is there without a doubt about it, the guy we're going to be watching more than any other player on the field. And I think everybody is going to tune into this game just to watch, hey, how is Cam Ward going to be? I don't expect Cam Ward to play a lot, but going from last year at Miami, 4,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. This is your first opportunity to see him in an NFL jersey and see him playing NFL football. So everybody wants to know, is his game going to translate? And we watched a little bit during training camp, and he had some growing pains. We saw him play really good, and we also saw him play pretty bad. But that is what a rookie is going to do. Now, going into the joint practice against the Buccaneers, which they had on Friday, we saw a pretty good Cam Ward, 20 for 30. 1 interception. Everybody throws interceptions. That's not a big deal. But overall, pretty accurate. Finding his man, reading the defense well. It looked good for Cam Ward, and I'm excited to see him getting on the field, playing an actual game. But as you saw from Paul Kaharski's tweet, he's a rookie quarterback. I know that you should probably get as much playing time as possible, but they want to savor him. You don't want him to get hurt. Their backup quarterback, Will Levis, already is out for the season. You want to be careful. I'm expecting him only to play 2 drives, maybe even 1 if he leads a nice long touchdown drive, but expect Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle to play the majority of the game. What's your confidence level in Cam Ward? Did pretty well at joint practice, and we're going to see him on the field firsthand tonight against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Scale it for me, 1 to 10 in the comments section. 1, you're not confident at all, or 10, he is the franchise quarterback, and he's going to be a star in this league. Second guy I want to talk about, and this is one of Cam Ward's favorite targets going into this season, and one of the guys that's really blossomed, and I kind of predicted that he was going to blossom, and it's Gunnar Helm, the tight end out of Texas. He has been a star on the field from the time he got to Tennessee and just worked his way throughout training camp, throughout minicamp, and now you see once we get to the first preseason game, he is going to be on the field, possibly, maybe even be a starter. This is what Jim Wyatt had to say, just a little section of what he saw in the joint practice. This was what he said. I thought it was tight end Gunnar Helm's best practice at training camp. I had Helm with 4 catches, including several nice ones in the middle of the field. I saw him as a real weapon today. And we saw him as a real weapon when he was at Texas catching passes from Quinn Ewers. I mean, 60 catches, 786 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a 13 yards per catch average as a tight end. He was one of your top targets, and I really think that throughout the season, as he gets more and more experience over the course of games, that he's going to grow, and he's going to become that second tight end, maybe even first, because he's already passed Josh Wiley, so he could be an X factor and kind of be, I've said it before, a security blanket for Cam Ward. Offensive line is definitely the next, like not even a specific player, but just an overall of what you got to look at this going into tonight's game. Because it's all up to the offensive line to protect Cam Ward. This is revamped. Dan Moore, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry is not going to play. It's going to be Corey Levin as your starting center because he's still on the PUP list, but you can expect Lloyd Cushenberry to be your starter. Kevin Zeitler going right guard, and then I'm really looking forward to seeing how J.C. Latham handles at right tackle. Overall, I just want to see how they can handle holding Cam Ward. I mean, we saw during the Colts game, the offensive line, well, I'm going to blame Anthony Richardson on that for a majority of it because you got to pick up the blitz, but the offensive line was non-existent. And he got hit literally the first drive. Daniel Jones comes in, and Daniel Jones was pressured a lot. That is all that matters is can the offensive line hold up Cam Ward? Because if he's running around for his life, it's going to be a problem, and that's our first look at this revamped line. Mike Borgonzi made it a priority to get more protection. You saw what the big contract is with Dan Moore, so expect a couple drives with this first team, and you're really going to look at how they do and if they can protect Cam Ward. And the last one, on offense, it's got to be the wide receivers, right? You want to see, I don't expect Calvin Ridley to play much, but you expect Tyler Lockett to get some burn. Van Jefferson, is he going to be your wide receiver 3, or is it going to be the rookie coming out of Stanford, and that's Elike Manor? I mean, you can see stats right there, 63, 831 yards, and he has been absolutely cooking. I'm not going to play the video for you guys, obviously, because I would not really allowed to on YouTube because of copyright, but you can see the picture right there. That's him on cut. That's him cutting and absolutely juking the hell out of the Bucs defender. And you can see just the tweet, putting on the burners. He's going to be a problem in this league, and he looked really, really good at joint practice. And I'm also looking forward to just seeing Xavier Restrepo, the undrafted free agent out of Miami. Like, he was Cam Ward's top target in college. He was Miami's top target throughout the last 4 or 5 years that he was there. Is he going to be a factor in this on this team? Is he going to make the team? Can he show out even when it's the backup quarterback, not Cam Ward? That's one player that you got to look at specifically. He's also going to be a returner. But we'll talk about the returners and some of the defensive players because there's not really much to talk about on defense with this team, but there's still one position battle that I'll get to. But I got a deal for you guys, people. These cutoff hoodies are really, really nice, and they're on sale right now for 40% off. Yeah, almost 50% off, and you can get yours today, chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. It's still going to be warm for a little bit, but it's going to cool down once the fall gets here. And if you want to be in Nissan Stadium where the sun's shining bright about noon, yeah, you're going to want to get this. You're going to want to get this hoodie today. Chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. You can get that in the comments and description of today's video. Support the Titans, and of course, support Titans today. So I will say, going into this season, that most of the defense is set. Like, you have your cornerbacks because who knows if L'Jarius Sneed is going to play with Roger McCreary. Like, that is set. Your safeties are kind of set. Kevin Winston Jr. is not going to play in this first preseason game. You have Amani Hooker and you have Xavier Woods. That's set. But the one player I'm looking forward to watching, specifically throughout all of preseason, that is James Williams. He was the linebacker that's going to be lined up against Cody Barton. And we've talked about it. That is the biggest position battle that you've seen. We know the edge rushers. I want to see Femi Oladejo too, but James Williams, because who is going to be lined up next to Cody Barton? Is it going to be Otis Reese? Is it going to be Cedric Gray? Is it going to be James Williams? All those guys are competing for the spot. But if you see this depth chart, this is the unofficial depth chart from the Titans facility. This is what they had on their website. But that shows that he won the job in training camp. But none of that matters if you don't look good on the playing field. He's going to play a lot, and I mean a lot in the preseason. He's a second-year player. He is a low draft pick, and he's also coming from safety, moving down the linebacker. So he needs to get those reps in because he didn't play much last year. So you're going to see him a lot in preseason, but you have to play good on the field, not just training camp, or else you could lose your spot really quick. So I'll ask you guys. I didn't really talk about Otis Reese much, but who do you guys think should be the starter? James Williams, type JW, or for Otis Reese, type OR down in the comments section. And the last one, it's not anybody in particular. You have Tavondre Sweat. You have Jeffrey Simmons on the inside. You have your edge rushers. Like, this defense is set, guys. So I'm really looking forward to just who's going to be the returners, because the big surprise on the depth chart was Jaquan Jackson as your kick returner and James Prochet as your punt returner. Last year, your kick returner was Julius Chestnut, who's still on the team. And you drafted an absolute speed demon out of Florida for a punt returner, which I thought for sure was going to be a lock as your starting punt returner because he's done it in college, and you can see that speed. His 40-yard dash, his 20-yard split, his 10-yard split, they're all incredible. His vertical, his broad, like three-cone drill, they are all incredible because he is athletic. He runs a 4.34, guys, and you're not going to start him as your punt returner, just the speed guy? I think that is outlandish, but I think they're going to have him at least return some punts during the preseason. He's listed as the second guy on the depth chart, so expect him, kind of watch him, because if he shows out, he's immediately going to go to the starter spot. And also, Julius Chestnut, kick returner. You have a guy, Jaquan Jackson, who I think could possibly be a cut candidate because Bryce Oliver, he's really looked good during training camp, and you already have your guys. Like, I think Restrepo's going to make this team. I think you have Van Jefferson, you have Tyler Lockett, Calvin Ridley, Alec Manor. There's no spot for Jaquan Jackson unless you're going to solely make him kick returner. So that's a really good, interesting spot to look at if you're kind of a nerd like me and you like to look at the position battles. But also, no true battle at corner. It's just Roger McCreary, kind of L'Jarius Sneed. Those are your guys that you're going to be looking at. I hope L'Jarius Sneed gets off the PUP list. If not, then you got to be looking at who's going to take his spot on the depth chart. But right now, I kind of expect him, hopefully, to be ready week 1. We're going to have a recap of the game for you guys, so you're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Titans Today. Football's back, baby, and let's tighten up.